Hi students, in the module 5 we'll have a topic like PDCP overview, that is Packet Data Convergence Protocol overview. So before entering into the diagrammatical explanation, let's see PDCP. What do you mean by PDCP? It's a kind of interface between inside world and outside world. Okay, so inside world, I mean that network access network, mainly the E node B and controller for E node B. Okay, and this PDCP is a layer sitting at the topmost part of the radio stack. In terms of basic operation, what PDCP does seems very simple. It is nothing but just adding the PDCP header to the incoming data and forward to RLC in downlink, or else removing the PDCP header from the incoming packet and forward it to Internet Protocol layer in case of uplink is all that it does. But however, this layer can be pretty busy stack uh, when if we enable various additional features like integrity, ciphering and header compression. Okay, so this all put together give a little effectiveness and little focusable of PDCP, that is nothing but packet data convergence protocol. And this packet data convergence protocol is associated with user plane as well as the control plane. So this is nothing but the service access point, and it's a single PDCP entity here. And this in the user plane, the contents are sequence numbering, the same in the control plane. Then in the user plane it is header compression, but in the control plane it is a integrity protection, and in the user plane ciphering, here to ciphering, that is ciphering as well as deciphering we can do. And here the addition of a PDCP header, and here also the addition of the PDCP head. Now we will have a functions, responsibilities, and why we wanted to all those things, sequence number, header, then ciphering, why all those things will let us discuss. Yeah, it's associated with both control and which the radio bearer is carrying the data. Now, header compression in the sequence delivery and the reordering, the upper layer PDU at handover. Okay, now here it consists of actually the header compression and decompression of Internet Protocol will be controlled by the ROHC. It is nothing but robust header compression. Okay, and here the delivery and also the reordering of upper layer PDU will be at handover. And also if we come to this buffering data as well as the forwarding of upper layer will be served from the serving node E node B to the target to the E node B during handover. So here handover is playing a vital role here. That is in the user plane. Let us go for the control plane. What is going to be happen in the control plane? Now coming to the control plane, here we are doing a ciphering and deciphering of control plane data. So how this ciphering has been done? Actually it is done by the XOR operation of the data unit with ciphering stream. We are performing a XOR operation. And the next is the integrity protection and integrity verification. It is nothing but one type of security for the data. Then we will, after the security is over, what we will do, we will transfer the control plane data. Now here PDCP packet data units are there. In this PDCP packet data unit there are two types, that is one is nothing but the PDCP data packet PDU and PDCP control PDU. This one is nothing but PDCP data PDU and Another one is PDCP control PDU. So in the PDCP data PDU, what will happen in the data PDU? So this data PDU is available or associated both in the user plane as well as the control plane. Okay, and for what purpose? No, this data PDU will transport the higher layer protocols. Okay, and it is used to convey the user plane contains whether compressed or uncompressed internet protocol packet. So whether to know whether it is a compressed data or whether it is uncompressed data, and also it is used by data PDU. Okay, and then next is this control plane data contains one RRC message and also one message authentication code. And for what purpose this message authentication code? In the sense, it is for integrity MAC 1 layer. So in the format itself there will be a MAC 1 layer. This MAC 1 layer is for field is for integrity protection. Then we will see the PDCP control PDU. It is used only in the user plane. Okay, so during the handover as well as the feedback information for the header compression, some status report will be conveyed. That status report will be conveyed by this PDCP control packet data unit. So during the handover and the feedback information. The next, it does not carry any higher layer SDU. Okay, it is used for P2P signaling between the, that is point to point, P2P signaling between the PDCP entities at two ends. Now we will see the construction of the PDCP data PDU format. That is nothing but this. Here it is user plane PDCP data PDU as well as control plane PDCP data PDU. In PDCP data PDU, here we had a second format is nothing but PDCP SN. That is nothing but packet data convergence protocol sequence number. Okay, what is the function of this? Well, it will provide a robustness, okay, against the packet loss. So whatever the packet will be get transferred from the MME to user equipment or user equipment to eNode B, there will be packet loss. That will be robustness. Okay, so it will provide some robustness against this packet loss. And also this PDCP CN will guarantee the sequential delivery at the receiver. So it's very important. The sequential delivery of the packet is very important, and this PDCP SN will guarantee that. And also, and PDCP with long SN sequence number is used for two modes, that is unacknowledgement mode, that will be abbreviated as UM, and acknowledgement mode, that will be abbreviated as AM. Okay, and this PDCP data PDU, it has short SN. That means it is used for only transparent mode. So we are long SN sequence number and short sequence number. And coming to that, there will be D/C field, D bar C field. So why we want to use this field? To distinguish the data and control the PDU. Okay, why this field is required actually? Because this PDCP data can carry both, here also it is both the user plane data as well as the control plane data. So we are in a need to distinguish whether the data is from the user plane, D data plane, or a control plane, right? That is D consists of data from the data plane and C consists of data from the control plane. Okay, now see here, this is the tabular column which shows that sequence length, that is long sequence length 12-bit, and the mode which is applicable is acknowledgement mode and unacknowledgement mode. When you coming for the short sequence, that is 7 bits, length is reduced. So only we are using unacknowledgement mode. And if you control plane data PDU, it is 5 bits. This consists of either acknowledgement mode as well as the unacknowledgement mode. Then if you go for robustness, this network, that is nothing but it is presence or absence, yes or no, whatever it is required, right? Then we will go for the control plane. In the diagram, for example, in the diagram, if we go, see here, it is one MAC I field is there in the control plane. So this MAC I field length is nothing but 32 bit, okay, which is used for the integrity protection. We are discussing the integrity protection is there, ciphering, deciphering is there. So now it is cipher data, and in the last there is a MAC I field, that is the length of 32 bits, which is used for integrity protection. At transmissions, the value of MAC I field is calculated based on the keys provided by the RRC layer. Okay, and here also the RB identifier, count value, and direction of transmission is there. So according to the key provided by the RRC layer, RB identifier, count value, and direction of transmission, this will be calculated, right? So then again we will come to header compression. This header compression is nothing but the it is see here in the packet data convergence protocol entity is configured by upper layers, okay, to use the header compression. This will be performed only on the user plane data. So why this header compression is required? Okay, all the services in LTE or Internet Protocol based are based on the framework of Internet Protocol. So this Internet Protocol framework provides cost-effective mechanism for delivery of higher bandwidth data. So what is the importance of this header overhead? In the sense that is, this all will be combined to the some protocol, that is nothing but network layer will combines with Internet Protocol, and transport layer, that is TCP UDP, that is nothing but transfer control protocol, and user datagram protocol. Then application layer is RTP. So this protocol will contain some redundant and repetitive informations. Okay. Now coming to the VoIP services. What is this VoIP services? In the sense, voice over Internet Protocol. So actually this VoIP services will support the telephony information, because this IP is related repetitive information the large way. And here we will see multiple header compression algorithm is used, such as profiles. So these profiles are defined for the ROHC framework, that is nothing but robust. And then coming to the integrity and ciphering. Okay, so here we have seen the format like HFN and PDCB and CM. So this integrity and ciphering is nothing but security functions. Actually, these both are security functions in packet data convergence protocol. And here we consist of format of count. This structure we will call it as format of count, that consists of HFN and PDCP SN. Okay, and it has a length of 32 bits and consists of two parts. The total 32 bits is divided into two parts, and this HFN is nothing but hyperframe number, that is HFN. Okay, and PDCP SN, and this sequence number, we are starting from that, we are telling the word sequence number, what is the responsibility. This sequence number is used for reordering at the receiver end. Okay, reordering, and also at the receiver end detection of RLC packet will happen. This detected RLC packet will duplicated by the sequence number. Okay, it's very clear. Sequence number is used for reordering, and also at the receiver end detection of the RLC packet will happen. This detected RLC packet will duplicated by the sequence number. Okay. So these all are about the PDCP overview, that is packet data convergence overview, and also the ciphering algorithm is based on the ciphering keys, radio bearer identity, value of the count, the direction of the transmission. Okay, so hope everybody got a clear idea about the packet data convergence protocol, header compressions, for what purpose we are using ciphering and deciphering, and what is integrity, all those things. So hope the best. Thank you.